You think you've seen everything on this beach: sun, sirens, slow motion runs, but what if I told you the most dangerous thing wasn't the ocean, but what happened after the tower doors closed? Stay with this story until the end, because one secret glance, one risky moment, and one camera left rolling would change everything forever. If you love scandal, forbidden tension, classic Baywatch vibes, and twists that hit harder than a rogue wave, hit subscribe now and turn on notifications, because stories like this don't stay buried for long. The sun burned low over the Pacific, turning the water molten gold as the Lifeguard tower stood silhouetted against the horizon, a place meant for vigilance and rescue but destined, on that unforgettable afternoon, to become the epicenter of whispers that would ripple across the beach and beyond, because everyone saw the uniforms, the confidence, the perfect smiles, yet no one saw the quiet fractures beneath them, especially not the tourists snapping photos or the joggers pretending not to stare as Jake Moreno climbed the tower steps two at a time, salt still clinging to his skin after a near-miss rescue that left his pulse racing, while inside the tower Lena Cross was pretending to organize equipment she already knew by heart, her focus shattered by the sound of his footsteps and the memory of arguments they'd sworn were over, because Jake was the golden boy of the squad, trusted, admired, endlessly calm under pressure, and Lena was the sharp-eyed veteran who never missed a rip current or a lie, their history stretching back years through long shifts, midnight calls, and moments that blurred the line between duty and desire, and when the door shut behind him with a click that felt louder than thunder, the air changed instantly, heavy with words unsaid, because this wasn't about attraction anymore, it was about everything they'd buried, the transfer request Jake never submitted, the promotion Lena lost when rumors started, the unspoken truth that being heroes in public made them cowards in private. Outside, waves crashed and radios crackled with routine updates, but inside the tower time slowed as Jake leaned against the railing, sunlight slicing across his face, and said he couldn't pretend anymore, that saving strangers was easy compared to facing what he felt, and Lena laughed softly, the kind of laugh that carried exhaustion instead of humor, reminding him that feelings didn't survive scrutiny on a beach where everyone watched, because Baywatch legends weren't built on mistakes, yet even as she said it her hands betrayed her, trembling just enough to give her away, and that was the moment neither of them noticed the red light blinking on the auxiliary camera, the one installed weeks earlier after a theft investigation and promptly forgotten, silently recording every charged pause and every step closer, because while they argued about right and wrong, the past and the future, the present pulled them together with the force of an undertow, and when Jake reached out, not reckless, not aggressive, just honest, the contact sent a shock through both of them, not explicit, not obscene, but undeniably intimate in the way only people with history can be, and outside the tower a group of teens whooped as lifeguards sprinted down the sand in slow motion, the contrast almost cruel, because legends were being performed in daylight while secrets were forming in shadow, and just when Lena stepped back, choosing control over chaos, the radio exploded with a mayday call, a swimmer caught beyond the break, snapping reality back into place as Jake bolted for the stairs, leaving behind words he never finished and a silence louder than any siren, and for a moment it seemed like that would be the end of it, another buried truth, except later that night when the footage was reviewed for an unrelated report, a supervisor froze the frame, not on anything scandalous enough for headlines, but on something far more dangerous, recognition, because the camera had captured vulnerability, favoritism, the kind of connection that could unravel careers in an instant, and by morning whispers spread faster than a rip current, dividing the team into those who believed heroes were human and those who believed the image mattered more than the truth, forcing Lena to confront whether integrity meant silence or confession, and Jake to realize that being caught in the act wasn't about what the camera saw, but about what he could no longer hide, as the beach woke up to another perfect day unaware that the tower, once a symbol of safety, had become a mirror reflecting every risk they took not in the water, but in their hearts, setting the stage for consequences no rescue training could prepare them for, because on this beach, survival wasn't just about swimming back to shore, it was about standing tall when the tide finally went out and revealed everything.